Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 9 Premium Tank Destroyer, the TL-7 Black. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the TL-7 Black is a tank destroyer. There's naturally a black tank, so it's from the Black Friday vehicles. And it's a tank destroyer that's neither good nor bad. It's one of those tank destroyers that's kind of just a bit, it's alright. And that's because the clip is quite nice. You've got 360 alpha on this gun, and it puts it out pretty quickly at 2 seconds on the intro clip. And that can be quite good when you catch people out, just like a standard auto-loader. Your mobility is fairly mediocre. Your camo is pretty good, though. And the gun is really derpy at times. It's one of those guns that can be pretty frustrating, as it just likes missing shots. And you sit there going, why TL-7 Black? Why did you miss that, you silly gun? You know, it's one of those tanks that can be pretty frustrating for that. And for saying you've got such a long reload on the clip, which is probably fairly balanced, to be fair, in the way that it deals out the damage for a tier 9 tank. In the fact that it takes quite a long time to actually reload the clip, when you miss those shots, it's really painful. So the TL-7 Black, it's got a 50 km/h top speed with a 13 km/h reverse speed, 480 horsepower engine, which is 17.14 horsepower per ton ratio, and with 175 on the soft terrain, 1.01 on the medium, and 0.92 on the firm, it gets to its top speed alright. It can be a little bit sluggish at times to get there, but it will get there. The reverse speed at 13 km/h is poor though. That is very slow to reverse backwards and can be a bit of a pain for the TL-7 Black. You've got 20% internal fire chance, which is on the high end of fire chances, and yes, this tank does get set on fire, and that can be super duper frustrating for it indeed, as it gets set on fire through the front, side, and rear. It just likes getting set on fire generally. 30 degrees a second on the hull rotation speed as well is not really fast, nor is it slow. It's okay. It can turn decently quickly left to the right, but not amazingly so. So that's something that you might want to buff up if it annoys you. You got 251 meters of still concealment with 267 on the move concealment, meaning that you are pretty stealthy as a tank, and the camo is an asset that you really want to use in the TL-7 Black, because that will help you get the best out of the vehicle, because the camo is really good. 473 meters of view range is below average in terms of the view range you can get on a tier 9 tank, and that can be a bit of pain at times, because sometimes you won't spot things that you think, oh, I probably thought I would have spotted that, like you might in other tanks. It's not horrendous, because you will spot people at the 445 meters of spotting cap, but yeah, it's just not the best view range in the universe. 26.06 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed as well is fairly slow for the turret traverse, but that is pretty common for turreted tank destroyers, and it is slower than the tracks, which again is fairly common for a turreted tank destroyer, and it does turn this turret pretty slowly, which can be a pain, but it's not as bad as some other turreted tank destroyers that have really slow turret traverse speeds. You've got 0.7 accuracy during rotation with a 3.99 accuracy during movement. So the accuracy during rotation is actually not too bad on this vehicle, but the accuracy during movement at 3.99 is really not very good. And that means that when you move this tank, the aim circle blooms out massively, which means you've got to sit there waiting for this aim circle to go in, which has got 2.19 second aim time, which is not horrific, but you will feel it because you have to sit here waiting for this gun to get itself aimed in to be able to shoot the shots. And you've got 0.32 accuracy at 100 meters as well, which is fairly accurate. But like I say, this gun, it just likes derping shots, which can be super frustrating and adds a bit of frustration into the tank in general. You've got 10 degrees of gun depression, which is extremely flexible on a ridgeline, and as you're seeing here in this game, that's where this tank can excel, because you can poke over a ridgeline, use the 10 degrees of gun depression, only really expose the turret front, which isn't the best armor in the universe, and you won't ever want to rely on it, but it can get you some nice ricochets occasionally, and then just dump your clip, pull back behind the ridgeline, and get yourself safe. You've got the 32.41 second reload for the 4-shot clip, which is 2.2k DPM, nearly 2.3k DPM, which, like I say, you never really pay attention to DPM or raw DPM for an autoloader, as it is all about the burst damage on this 360 Alpha gun with 4 shells. And that's where you'll feel it, because when you get to fire at people like this Conway here, that burst fire is very, very nice indeed, as it is a 2-second intra-clip reload for the clip, which is fast, and it pumps out that damage, because you'll do all the damage in 6 seconds from firing the first shot. 252 penetration on the standard AP is okay, and we'll go through most vehicles' weak spots, and then you've got 315 penetration on the premium APCR, which again is enough to go through most vehicles you're going to face, and you won't really struggle to pen things with that for that 360 Alpha. You got 1,060 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP, with 1,492 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR. Now, trust me when I say that, again, because the velocity is so much better on the standard, on the premium, sorry, than it is on the standard, the APCR feels so much more accurate than the AP does on the TL-7 Black. The APCR flies to target because that shell velocity is so good, whereas the AP rounds have that 1,060, which is only slightly above average, and can make the gun feel really derpy because you have to give a lot of lead to be able to hit the targets with this 120mm gun, which, yeah, it can be frustrating how much it misses, and that shell velocity is part of that, realistically. And the TL-7 Black also has a 125% silver earn rate, which is different to most Tier 9 vehicles, because most Tier 9 vehicles do not have an earn rate whatsoever, but because it's one of the Black tanks, one of the Black Friday tanks, they generally have bonuses that most of the tanks don't, and as it's a Tier 9 premium, it gets 125% silver earn rate, which means it does make a little bit better silver than a standard Tier 9 tank. Not much better, but it still does. But yeah, that's the TL-7 Black in terms of statistics. Like I say, it's a fairly average tank in general, probably fairly balanced if we're totally honest, because it's not exceptional. It can be a right pain to play at times, but also it can be nice in terms of when you are putting out that damage. It's one of those tanks you really do have to be patient, which is what you're seeing in this game. This game is all about patience. We have to just sit and wait for the enemy team to make mistakes, because it is highway, and we've got this spawn, which generally you want to be able to sit on this ridge, defend your base from people attacking along the 6-7 line, and then you can push through the town, win the town, and then move off into a different way. Which this game has developed quite weirdly, because our team's actually managed to push down the JK and not get shot, whereas usually they have people camping in their spawn, who then end up farming everyone as they get towards their cap and then die. It's just one of those things, but yeah. So what do I run in terms of recruit and equipment for the TL-7 Black? Well, I do run a fairly stealthy crew. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, the Camouflage Net with the GLD and the optics. Optics to be able to get that 473 meters of view range, so I can spot for myself pretty effectively, which, like I say, it's not got the best view range in the university. You really do want to get that view range up as high as possible with optics. The GLD, because the aim time on this tank is a little bit poor, and if you don't run the GLD, like I say, the aim time, sorry, feels even worse, and the aim circle takes forever to get zoomed in to be able to get this damage out. And the camo net to be able to get that fantastic 251 meters of still concealment, along with the camouflage expertise and the silent driving to get the on-the-move concealment down to 267 as well. And that means you can stay unspotted easier while you're on the move and trying to move into a better position to get your shots out. All three gun perks, because like I say, this gun can be terrible at times, and it can be such a frustrating gun to use that you really want to make sure that you're making the gun as good as possible with all the gun perks. But yeah, that's what I've run in terms of recruiting equipment. Like I say, there's plenty of different ways you can set up the tank. It's really down to you and how you feel comfortable playing any kind of vehicle and how you're going to be able to get the most out of it. So as you've seen so far in this game here on Highway, we've managed to get 4,095 damage, 659 assistance to make that 4,424 damage. And there's only 6 tanks left on the enemy team. Now, I've kind of realised I'm in a bit of an aggressive position, so what I'm going to do is pull back to a position where I'm in some bush cover, and hopefully I'll be able to use my concealment rating to stay unspotted while I fire this gun, and also while I'm reloading this very long reload, I can stay covered in my bush, because I'm in the perfect place to try and shoot this Badger, or the medium tank that got spotted at C2. And in fact, we actually find the Iron Rain. So I fire at this Iron Rain. I was really hoping that I would stay unspotted when I fired at the Iron Rain, but it didn't quite work out like that, but we managed to fully clip him out and get out of dodge just before that Badger manages to get the shot in. In fact, there's 2 Badgers, so there's another one up there, probably 2. And we're up to 5,524 damage. And because we've got unspotted, we can now go try and close the distance, maybe spot these TDs up, get some assistance damage in that way as my team closes in for the kill. Because it is still 7-4, which means it's still fairly close, as, you know, it only takes the tanks to pick up 2 or 3 kills to make it even again. So if we can spot them at better distances, make it so it's easier for my team to be able to farm them, then we're going to win the game naturally. So we see the Badger, he's more than a one-shot for us, because again we've got 360 alpha, which is slightly lower than a fair few tanks, because, you know, most tanks with 120mm guns have 390, so yeah, having that 360 can be a bit lower. And we're seeing where all the last sets of TDs are currently spotted. The Badgers, the Conway, they're all spotted over this little ridgeline, so I'm trying to hope that I can use my 10 degrees of gun oppression to put some shots in. So there's the Pantera as well. We're going to go over to try and put the shot in. We finish off the Pantera. Badger's up on top of the ridgeline, aiming for that lower plate. Put one shot in. We can bounce off that lower plate with the AP penetration. We managed to put 2 out of 4 in and secure a load of extra damage there on Mr. Badger. With only 1 tank left on the enemy team, it's Mr. Conway. And with that 6.5k damage, 4 kills and 1279 damage, we've had a really nice game here for the TL-7 Black on Highway. And when I'm looking at this Conway and my tanks that are going in on him, I'm pretty sure that Conway is going to die very quickly. I'm never going to get the chance to reload it. I mean, look at the face. Look at that face of the TL-7. He's a good boy. He can get himself some damage. But actually, Sod's Law. That's what that is. Sod's Law. Because it's at that moment I went, oh, actually I'm nearly reloaded. I'm going to be able to get the kit. Oh, he's dead. Sod's Law. That's what it always is the way. We finished with the first class, the high caliber, with that 2035 base XP, the 6.5k damage, 1200 assistance, 4 kills. Really nice game there for the TL-7 Black, and a tier 10 game there on Highway. And it showed off what you have to do with the TL-7 Black, because you saw quite a few shots in that game, Derp, where the gun handling is just atrocious at times on the TL-7. It's one of those that, like I say, if you fire the APCR, you will feel massive difference in this gun handling. The gun handling feels really good, and you are able to hit the shots more effectively with the APCR because that velocity at 1492 is really good. But if you're firing the AP, it can be super frustrating as you miss shots left, right, and centre. And the fact that your base accuracy on the tank isn't that great anyway, and also, yeah, that shell velocity being that little bit more poo on the standard AP, yeah, you've really got to make sure you get the lead. And because you've got the long reload as well, you have to be super patient to be able to get the most out of this tank. If you are too aggressive, you will die very, very quickly because you don't have the armour to do it. Because the reload is quite long on the clip, it takes a while to get the gun back into action, which then means that if you're going in on someone, you can't kill them, they're going to have a long time to be able to kill you, because of the fact you don't have any armour, they will murder you, which, yeah, pure pain, but that's what it is. So, the second game, we're here on this map, which is Heilbronn, and on Heilbronn, we've managed to catch out this KV-4 as he crosses the open. We managed to put 3 out of 4 shells in, and sadly the last one bounced. We pulled back behind cover so that we can reload our clip, because we unfortunately didn't get any shots into the Aguila, which was a sad time. But he's back behind cover where I can't really get at him. With Heilbronn, from this position, it's one of those where you've got to watch what the enemy team does, because from here I could push into the dip at E7 to try and get shots at the medium tank. Or I could also go to here, where I'm going to try and be at F8, where I can get up on top of this little ledge and try and shoot that medium tank in the side as well. If anyone tries to go in the ridge in front of me, I can also get shots at them. And I can try and poke over the top of this little hill as well. And by doing that, I might spot anyone else in the distance. But as we tried to go on top of the hill, we ended up getting into the proxy spot range of that KV-4. So the KV-4 proxy spotted us, meaning we can't poke over that ledge. So really, we need the KV-4 to die so that we can progress what we want to do in this game. Because also, if we tried to move into that next dip at E7, we're not going to do very well because the KV-4 will be able to shoot us as well as not being able to shoot the medium tank in the back. So I decided, okay, I'm going into the dip. If we can find the KV-4 and get rid of it, great times. If the KV-4 can't shoot us, maybe we can get after the medium tank. But we really need this guy to go so that we can then move on to what we want to do next. Because the proxy spotting is annoying, and that meant that I couldn't get over to spot either the Aguila or get extra shots in. But the KV-4 gets shut down by the striker. We're now going in on the Motherland, so we get 2 shots into the Motherland, putting him down to a 2-shot for us. The Aguila shoots us in the back, so we have to move forwards to get ourselves safe from it and get into this little dip here. Because that way we can stay safe from both the Motherland, with the train in front of us, and the Aguila for getting shots into us. But this is where we've got to wait for the reload, and the reload is slow on this vehicle. Like I say, you've just got to be patient with it and not be too aggressive, because if you get too aggressive, that's where you will get caught out very, very quickly. So we're up to 2.1k damage, and we're nearly loaded. I want to try and find the next place to be able to get the shots out. They've got a lot of heavy tanks down the 2 line and in B1, so we're trying to find a better position where I can get the shots in, and they're low, Mr. M103. We go for the shot into the side of the M103, it misses. The second shot also misses, which is a sad time. We've got the side shots into the other M103, and poor shot, and it misses. And go for the... Oh, what a failure of a clip. Oh, 2 of those were bad aim. 2 of those were bad RNG. Mixture of everything you don't want when you're firing your autoloader. And we didn't get any shots into that M103, which, yeah, sad times for us. But hey ho, it is what it is. And while we're nearly loaded now, you saw the moment where I went, oh. But you can do that because, again, I didn't want to be too aggressive too soon, because if I push too soon while I was still reloading, it's not going to go very well. Now we're loaded, though, we actually have shots into the rear of the E75, so we're waiting for the shot to aim in, and we finish off the E75, which was being pressured by our heavy tanks, and with 3 shots left, we should be able to clip out Mr. T-54 as well. So we were just seeing if we could find the shot into that guy, but we couldn't. Just keeping our eye on what is going on in town in case we get shot from that direction as well. With the T-54 poking around the corner and unfortunately killing our friend, we have to go around the other way and hope that he's not looking our way. We can kill him with this clip, so we have to make sure these shots are going to hit. 1 in. Hopefully going for that drive wheel to track and pen him. We low roll, but thankfully he takes a hit from behind, which means we can finish him off with that clip. I can't believe we low rolled that. That low roll meant that we couldn't kill him most of the time with our 3rd shell that we had left. But yeah, like I say, thankfully, we managed to get him. Oh, that was reactions. That was reactions right there. We noticed the TD get spotted on the map straight away and went, absolutely not! And managed to pull back behind the rock just before he got his shot in. And managed to do track damage only, so we'll take it. Iron Rain's now coming for us, and he bounces again because of the angle. I know I'm taking the hit this time, but he's fired all of his clip, so we're just going to go and finish him off. But in fact, the E75 is the E70, no, the Progetto 46 ends up shutting him down. The M103 from the town has shots at us. We try and hit the shot on the move, we miss, but I just had to keep myself moving because the M103 could at any point come round and shoot me in the rear, and I didn't want to give him a very easy shot. We're up to 3.7k damage with 623 assistance damage, and we did get fairly. I mean, the Iron Rain couldn't kill us there, but he could put us down to a one-shot for someone like the M103. And that's why I was a bit calm when I was going against him, because I was like, I know this guy can't kill me, it is what it is. But now the Tortoise is coming after us. This is awkward, because this Tortoise can kill us in 2 shots. He's got very good DPM, and in fact, he could just put 2 shots in, which would hurt us dearly, before we managed to dump our whole clip. So I'm just trying to bait him into firing, and then I can get over and get a shot into his cupola. But he realises he needs to pull back because there's people that are behind that can shoot him. So we get away from Mr. Tortoise, because again, I don't want to get into a DPM knife fight with this guy because he could kill me. But I also do want to get a bit cheeky and get some shots into the cupola, because I could pen the cupola with 252 penetration. But 252 pen can actually bounce on the Tortoise cupola as well. It can be a bit frustrating, but yeah, there we go. We try and stop the shot into the Aguila. It misses by a mile, which is sad. But Mr. Tortoise is coming after us slowly but surely. We go for that cupola shot. It ricochets. We go for that shot again. It goes over the top. Thanks, TL-7 Black. Your gun is great sometimes. Really good times. You know, that's the way that this gun is. It can be super duper frustrating at times, the TL-7 Black. And that was where we had dead to right shots on his cupola. The first one went a bit low, so it ricocheted. And the second shot went straight over it, because, yeah, why not? But we've only got APCR left, which should make going through that guy a little bit easier. We can also go through the superstructure of the Car-E with that. With the Tortoise firing there, I'm just waiting to go through the Car-E now. He's looking somewhere else, so we aim for the superstructure, put 1 in, go for the second shot, finish off the Car-E. Now we can go for the cupola shots. That was a bad shot, and that one was very chancy. So we missed 2 shots there on the cupola of the Tortoise, which, like I say, they were very chancy shots. They weren't ever going to work out, those last 2, realistically. But hey ho, I didn't want to take the hit from the Tortoise, because then I'd be a one-shot for him and I couldn't chance it, and if another TD came along, I'd be dead, as there is 2 other tank destroyers left. But Progetto 46 has gone after the Tortoise, got a couple of shots in, which means I can now clip this guy out in 2 shots, and I've got 4 shots loaded to go. I've got to be careful, because I am running out of ammunition, and that can be awkward in the TL-7 Black as well. So we go over, aim up towards his cupola. Again, I snapped the shot because I didn't want to take the hit, put another one in, and decide, okay, you know what, you've shot me, Mr. Tortoise, sure, but I'm going to finish you off. And we finish off the Tortoise there for our 5th kill of the game, up to 5.1k damage, 925 assistance. And with the first shot that we missed there, I just decided, screw it, I can take a hit from the Tortoise. I may as well just take it and dish out the 2 shots I need to be able to kill him. And by doing that, we got rid of the Tortoise. It's just what we had to do. Because otherwise, if we'd snapped the final shot there, again, ammunition was running on my mind. If I'd snapped another shot and missed it, I'd have only had 2 shells left, which I'd had to hit both, and then I'd been running out of ammunition as well, which would have been fairly awkward, and is fairly awkward for the TL-7 Black. So there's 2 tank destroyers left. Both are spotted down at H9, so we're going to use the mobility of the TL-7 to try our best to get up behind them and get shots into the rear so we can get a little bit extra damage, because we're having a nice game. 5k damage with 5 kills is a nice game. And the T-30 is a one-shot. We're not sure what the other TD is at the minute because it is spotted, but it is out of render. There it is. It's a Waffle Panzer IV that's full health. And again, we can dish out a good amount of damage to that Waffle Panzer IV and just uptick our damage to a good level. So this is where the 50 kilometers an hour can be a bit mediocre at times because some of the tanks are traveling a lot quicker. There's the Waffle Panzer IV. Wow, we can't quite get the shot into him. There's just something in the way. So we're going to try and find the shot to finish off the T-30 because he's looking at our friend. We finish off the T-30 there, securing the kill on that guy, which frees up our TD over in the distance to go after him. And I think, okay, let's get ourselves into a better position to shoot the Waffle. So we fire a shot at the Waffle. We get spotted through the bush, which I completely didn't expect. Finish off the final 2 shells into the Waffle Panzer IV, and that's the slow reverse speed. The slow reverse speed of the TL-7 Black gets us caught out, and the Waffle Panzer IV finishes us off with that full turret swivel snap. But it is what it is. We finished with the victory, 6 kills, 6.1k damage, 925 assistance, the top gun, the high caliber, the first class, with the 2099 base XP. A really nice game there for the TL-7 Black, which, like I say, it's a tank destroyer that's neither good nor bad, really. It's probably fairly balanced, to be fair. It's just that the gun can be super frustrating on the TL-7 Black, as you've seen in the replay, where you miss... in both replays, really, where you miss shots that you sit there going, oh, come on, TL-7, just hit that, please, you know. But yeah, that's TL-7 Black. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success.